I run a social media marketing agency and I have run other people's social media for almost a decade. I've learned a lot in the process and I want to help you. If you're thinking about outsourcing your social media, here's some steps that you could take, some filters that you can use in choosing the right partner to outsource your social media. Now, outsourcing your social media is really giving a lot of trust to someone else. It's really empowering them to be your voice on these platforms. And so if you are planning on outsourcing your social media, what you don't want to do is just go get an intern or give it to somebody and just go post a bunch of stuff and make it look like I'm busy. You want to be very thoughtful and intentional as they are representing you. And this is your reputation. This is your brand. This is your voice online. And so you want to be very thoughtful in who you're choosing and what they're doing on your behalf on social media. So here are my steps or the filters that you need to take. The first thing you need to make sure you do is define your brand. Now, some people, especially when it comes to personal brands, they're uneasy. Like calling it a personal brand, but that's what it is. And so you need to define, this is what I'm about. This is what I want to talk about. This is what I'm interested in. And those people that I want to follow me are going to be interested in as well. So define your brand. Now, your brand might be an organizational brand. So it might not be a personal brand, but really define, is our brand professional or is it friendly or is it, who are we really targeting with our brand and what do we want to say? And so really define and get clear as to who you are, how you want to be represented online, so that person that's representing you has a clear understanding of the brand that they're communicating on your behalf. Number two is you want to set measurable goals. If you're going to hand something to somebody, you want to set some clear goals as to, this is why I want somebody to run my social media. Now, if you're just doing it to have something on social media, there's not really a reason. You might as well not be using social media. You might as well just delete your account. There's likely a goal. Maybe it's more sales. Maybe it's more brand awareness. Maybe it's just to get your name out there for public speaking opportunities. I don't know what your goal is, but you likely have a goal, and have a clear goal and share that with the person you're outsourcing social media to, so that they can have a goal to press towards and be intentional about as they move forward, and make sure that goal is measurable. Number three is you want to choose a partner. You want to choose somebody that isn't just, a contractor that you're handing this off to, but somebody that really is excited about your voice, that is excited about getting your message out, and they function as a partnership and not as a contract relationship. Now, obviously you need a contract, you need clear expectations and those kind of things, but you want to make sure that the relationship is deep, because they're your voice, they're your representation online. And so while it's good and it's efficient to outsource your social media a lot of the time, you want to make sure that you're outsourcing to somebody that is a partner with you, not just a contractor for you. The fourth tip that I want to recommend is to guard your voice. And when I say to guard your voice, I mean to take a look at your social media. Don't outsource it and look away and ignore it, but be paying attention to what they're saying on your behalf. Check it regularly and make sure that they're representing you well. And if they're not representing you well, give them that feedback as to how they can better represent you. Don't just hand it off and forget about it. Dig in and be a part of the process. Doesn't mean you have to do it, but the more engaged you are with that social media, the better that partnership will be, and the more effective they will be as somebody that you're outsourcing to help you with your social media. Now, the next thing you need to do is to provide feedback. Provide feedback as often as you can, to give clear feedback, to give consistent feedback, of whether that's once a week or once a month. And maybe once a month you just put it in your calendar I'm going to review and just write as many notes as you can to give clear feedback, and so that they can better be your voice. And I have clients that I've worked with for 10 years, and I'm still learning their voice. I'm still gaining an understanding as to how they would communicate different things, and they change. Their focus will often change, and they've got to remember to communicate that to me and to my team to better represent them. And so the more you're consistently communicating and giving good feedback and consistent feedback, the better they're going to gain your voice. So give consistent feedback, provide feedback on a regular basis. Now, the next thing that I found to be very important is to budget for advertising. At this point in social media, it is for the most part a pay to play. Now, there are people that go viral or have some organic growth, and that's great. But every time that I've seen people engage in social media, even those that have big organic growth, when you put money behind it, it just speeds up the growth even more, even faster. And so if you're investing in an agency, or you're investing in a contractor to outsource your social media to, you should also have some money set aside to invest in advertising to make your investment in that content and in that management that much more effective. So as you're budgeting for social media and budgeting for outsourcing, part of your budget should include advertising to make that investment that much more fruitful and effective. And then the last thing you need to do is to measure results. A lot of people will measure the effectiveness of their outsourced social media of, it looks good, and that's it. But you've got goals, and we said that at the beginning, that you need to define your goals and you need to measure against those goals. You need to see, is social media helping you get to where you want to go? And social media should, and it can, and you want to have clear communication, and you want to be measuring. You want to measure the analytics, you want to measure your reach, you want to measure your engagement, you want to measure your website traffic, you want to measure your conversions, whatever the key metrics are to align towards your goals around social media. Have those clearly defined and measure those on a consistent basis. I hope that helps. I hope you will consider outsourcing your social media, because as a social media manager, as a social media agency, we love to help people and to come alongside people and take our expertise and our collective skills to come alongside organizations and to come alongside people to help them accomplish their goals. I think it's a great, efficient, and effective way to use social media and to find the right partner. But even if you're managing your own social media, I hope these tips and tricks helped you even measure your own effectiveness in social media. I would love to hear what other tips you might have learned if you've outsourced your social media, or if you're an agency that people outsource social media to. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear and have a conversation down there. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next episode.